The Coonhound Collective podcast is brought to you by CZ Welding and Custom Dog Boxes. Dog boxes built by hunters, for hunters. Check these guys out today. This is your host, Jason Snellgrove, and I will be your guide as we journey down the road to pleasure hunt or hitting the long trail to those great comp hunts. This is the Coonhound Collective podcast. After reaching out to PKC, Shaun Welch is the only person that they know of that has won the Superstakes and the national championship in the same year with the same dog. This is going to be a great interview. Stay tuned.
You got to go out there and work hard to do it, and it can be done. Anybody can win if they put their mind to it. And it's not, if it was so corrupt, I'd have never won a national championship or the Super Stakes. I mean, it never would have happened. I never even got there. So all that Facebook talk, I mean, it's a joke, a lot of it.
Welcome to the Coonhound Collective podcast today. Today we're going to be joined by Mr. Shaun Welch. He will be joining us via telephone. Stand by. All right, welcome to the Coonhound Collective podcast today. Today I have Mr. Shaun Welch with me. Shaun, how's it going?
Doing fine. How are you?
Oh, pretty good, man. Hey, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and that kind of thing?
Okay, I'm from South Carolina. I'm about 50 miles outside of Charleston. Born and raised here. 41 years old. I have 3 children and a wife. Got 2 boys and a girl. 3, 6, and 12. Just in the heat of South Carolina right now. It's a warm one right now, but we still making it through it.
Yeah. So, how did you get into coon hunting? Tell us that story, how you got started.
I got into coon hunting. Started when I was in high school and in college. I had some friends. They still coon hunt today. Chad Fallen and his father Thomas Fallen and Uncle Wally Fallen. They lived about 15 miles from me, and I would just go pleasure hunting with them. That's way before we had decent tracking systems and all. And we'd hunt about all night long, especially on the weekends. And then I kind of took a little break there for a little while. Single, kind of just wasn't doing all the right things. We kind of partying a little bit, doing, it's kind of hard to coon hunt when you're doing other things. And I quit drinking about 6 years ago. It's 2017, 16 and 17. It was late 16, and I started back coon hunting. Then I got a dog named Amtrak, and he was about a year old, and I started working on him. And had a friend, Jack Funderburg. He said, "Man, that dog's doing pretty good. You need to take him to a hunt." And I didn't even know a whole lot about competition hunting then, and I ended up going to a competition hunt and won my first hunt, and the first one I was ever in, and I kind of got hooked after that. Before I knew it, 2 weeks later, I was going to the Superstakes, and I didn't even know what Superstakes was.
Yeah, it kind of ruins you once you get in there, especially once you get a win or two in. It'll really ruin you then.
Yes, sir. It gets very, very addictive.
So, what kind of dogs did you start with back when you was in high school? Was they walker
They,
dogs or what?
yeah, they were all Walker dogs. I pretty much always hunted Walker dogs. Me and Miles Jernigan, a friend of mine that I watched, growing up hunting all my life. He's probably been coon hunting for 60 years. I think he's about 66, 67. Him and my dad's about the same age. He grew up in the same town, and we never really hunted together, but I always, watched him hunting with his dad. And we hunted around the same areas. And anyway, we did buy English female Birdie, Blue English, and that's all besides her and one of her puppies. That's the only dog that wasn't a walker dog that I've hunted. We
So,
got a pretty nice puppy. That's some blue English and out of big country. Um, so blue tick and blue English cross.
so the Amtrak dog, the one that you won your first hunt with, and I guess you ended up taking him to the Superstakes. What was he and what was he out of? And tell us a little bit
He was
about
out of
him.
he was out of Drop Dead Fred, Schooner River bloodline. Um, he was a very loud dog. I had a, a pastor that um, he's the pastor of my church, and he coon hunted. We started back going a little bit. He had an English dog that was he just pleasure hunted. I started going him a little bit, and I told him I wanted a big, houndy, loud walker dog, and he said I found the exact one for you that you needed. And anyway, that was Amtrak, and he was a very loud as a puppy. Even he was real loud, and he's a ball mouth dog. Didn't chop much at all, but he was more of a track dog, and still got him to this day. A friend of mine is hunting him right now. Ray Watson, he's hunting him up in the upstate of South Carolina, and Ray's had him for a couple months now. He's 7 years old now. He's still treeing coons.
Yeah. So you won that first hunt with him. What was you took him to the Super Stakes, I'm assuming, and what was that cast like out there?
It was good. I lost my first cast. We had 325 plus. I lost another guy had 350 and beat me on my first cast ever at a larger scale hunt. Of course, I hadn't been hunting but about 2 or 3 weeks of competition hunting, and then we went the next night. We had 5 1/4. We went to Illinois, was in Indiana at the time. Superstakes was. Went over to Illinois and he put on a show. He treed 160 yards out the truck and didn't stop after that. Treed two more and had another one treed that I didn't have to score. And he looked really good. And we we won 2 early rounds and lost the both late rounds. A lot of because of my inexperience at the time, but that was the first hunt, and I made him, you know, back then, as the champion. That was you just wanted to make your dog a champion, where I did anyway, because I was just getting started. I got a certificate in the mail. And I thought that was the best thing in the world. Won $500 on my dog, and then we went on and we made it silver champion. I'll never forget that. He made silver champion. Won 4,000 up to $4,000 there, and then I never made him gold champion. I started hunting other dogs, but he he's won like $9,800. He's right under a gold champion, and I still own him. He's a he'll never get rid of him. He's still he's kind of part of the family, even though I got a friend hunting him, but he's part of the family.
Yeah, well, I think that's a lot of it with a lot of hunters. You end up getting that special dog, and you hang on to them, and they just become like one of your kids. It's just something about going out there, seeing them in the pen, or loading them up, taking them, every once in a while.
Well, he helped me. I I just I quit drinking alcohol, and I had my daughter. She's 6 years old now, and I was talking to my wife one day. We drank. We didn't, wasn't no alcoholic or nothing, but we like to drink and hang out with friends, and go on the boat. What Because we live here on the lake, whatever. It was always association with drinking alcohol, and coon hunting and alcohol just don't mix anyway. And I started going to church with my pastor that coon hunted, and I've been going there for a couple of years, and I I decided I wanted to quit drinking, and when I did, um, I took Amtrak in the woods about 35 nights in a row, and we hunted from 3 to 8 hours a night there, and he's special to me because I remember that time I was going through that I was trying to quit, stay away from the alcohol and the different partying and everything associated with it. So that's why I'll never forget him. I guess what I'm saying. He was my first one, and he had a lot to do with me changing my life.
Yeah, and they talk about get a young kid a coon dog and you'll keep him out of trouble, but A lot of times that keeps a lot of us out of trouble, especially if you dedicate your time to them and put them in the woods. Sound like you did with Amtrak there. What's some other things that you've won with him?
Are you tired of whipping, scolding, and shocking to make them get alone? Is your buddy tired of helping you set your dog up for correction night after night? Do you really want your dog to be alone because you forced him to be? Or would you rather him be alone because he wants to be? Grand Night Champion Small Town Lone Survivor is the product of over 25 years of strong natural-born independent traits. This bold trait has been passed down from generation to generation and is showing up in Loner offspring today. Loner is a direct son of Hall of Fame Grand Night Champion Cabin Creek Rowdy and Grand Night Champion Lonesome Dove Lori. Loner has a booming mouth that is talked about in every cast he has been in, including the 2021 World Hunt Finals. Loner is a no-reverse, ball-mouth open trailer who ends it plussed up with a huge dying locate and steady chop. Loner loves getting split and is a stay-put gun-pressure tree dog. Loner's intelligence is also impressive. He knows over 12 voice and hand signal commands. Loner has a character that loves like Jesus, but he doesn't walk on water. If you're interested in breeding to Loner, contact Brett Stevens at Small Town English Kennels at 417-300-3777 or find him on Facebook.
If you're interested in running a stud ad for your dog here on the Coonhound Collective podcast, reach out to us at thecoonhoundcollective@gmail.com. Send us a message through Facebook or Instagram, and we'll be glad to get with you to get you an ad built and get you pricing on all of our ads.
With Amtrak, we won our first Final Four. I'll never forget it. It was in March. It was probably the year after we went to the Superstakes. We won our first Final Four. And I'm hunting Manning, South Carolina. We got in the Final Four at the Spring Classic. It's probably the second biggest hunt I've ever been out of town besides the Super Stakes. We went out to about 6 or 7 of us went out to Spring Classic one year up in Ohio. I've never hunted up there. If you hadn't ever had a chance, it's a beautiful place. Got plenty of coons, and we had 700 plus one night and hunted with Don Dunlap. Had a real good hunt, and I think we won about every cast we were in that week up there. But we got in the Final Four once there, and he's just been in some Final Fours. He hadn't never won anything real big. Got a truck ticket. We went hunting to Mississippi. We didn't do any good there, but he's won probably 6 or 7 different Final Fours and open events. Won several casts at the Super Stakes. Freshman, junior, sophomore, junior, and senior year.
Yeah. So you're talking a lot of PKC here. Did you hunt in any UKC events at all, or was PKC predominantly what was around you?
I hunted PKC is a lot. That's what was around us. We have a little bit of UKC. I hunted them one time in the Grand American. I thought I wanted to hunt the Grand American, so I did, and it was snowing that year here. We only get snow about once every 10 years, and it was snowing that year. The roads was froze over. Probably shouldn't even went out hunting as bad as it was, but we did, and I hunted in that. That was the only UKC hunt I've ever put him in.
Okay. So Amtrak, you got your buddy hunting him there. So what dog did you move to next?
I had another dog the same age as Amtrak, JoJo, and my partner Ken, still my partner to this day. He hunted her, and we got in the top 6 of the Super Stakes with her. Then I started training a 1-year-old. She was a power packing easy female, and her name was Sleazy. And the guys down in Florida ended up buying her from me. I hunted her for a couple of years there, and as a 3-year-old, I sold him Sleazy, and then I was kind of just hunting Amtrak a little bit, and kind of bouncing back and forth, and then started hunting sale. he changed a lot for me when I started hunting him.
So tell us where Sale come from, kind of the background on him, and what things you seen different in him than maybe some of the other dogs that you've had.
Well, Sale, he's a wipeout bloodline, and I got him from, I had a partner, Bruce Rabin. He's a good pup trainer. He started off with Sale, and as a 1-year-old, we ended up partnering up together and hunted with him here and there. I liked him. He's a trailing type dog, and he'll come up with a coon, very accurate. And I started hunting with him, and I was gonna hunt him as a 1-year-old at the Superstakes, and um, my mom was real sick, and I didn't end up going. And Patrick Cribb ended up hunting him and got in the final 7. And then Bruce kept on hunting him, and he went to the world hunting, didn't do any good. I guess that was early 2-year-old that year, and he was kind of aggravated with him. I found out that he was treating a bunch of den trees at that point, and Bruce said he wanted to go ahead and partner up with another friend of ours, Ken, and we all partnered up together, and we got together with him, and I started hunting him and noticed he started treeing some squirrels, and I think that's what he was doing with Bruce at the World Hunt that year, and anyway, I hunted him and worked out the squirrel problem he had, and just kept on going, and finally took him to town after about a month and a half of hunting, and we doubled up at a legacy hunt on a Friday and Saturday night. It was a 2-day legacy hunt. We doubled up on both of those nights, won 4 casts in a row, and won about 800, and I think it was $880, two 440s or whatever, open event money, and we had pretty much close enough to go ahead and get a truck ticket on him. So I ran him the rest of the month, and we ended up getting about $1,400 for the month and had a truck ticket, and that's how everything started with Sal. And he's just an old trailing type dog that he's gonna get in there, he's gonna get struck, and he's gonna get a tree with a coon somewhere. The most accurate dog I've ever hunted in my life, probably one of the most accurate dogs I ever hunted with, even when he was younger.
So, okay, they took him out as a 1-year-old to the Superstakes, then to the World Hunt. What year did you win the Superstakes with him?
2000. Let's see, it was 2021 when we won the Superstakes.
Okay, would that have been
That
senior?
a year. Yeah, it was his junior year.
Junior year, okay.
Yeah.
So talk about leading up to the Superstakes, getting ready to go out there for it, and then kind of how that week went.
Well, we had hunted in January, and we hunted in a $1,000 hunt in St. George, South Carolina. It was a pro classic, and Sal was looking real good. One of my partners had been in the hospital with COVID for about 30 days, and he was just getting out. And I took Sal to that hunt, and we won early. We took him back out, won late. We won $6,000 that night, and he was looking, he was looking real good. We kept hunting through the months and ended up picking up about $20,000 leading up to the Nationals and the Superstakes, and the Nationals that year was 2 years combined, and we headed on out to the Nationals that March, and the Superstakes followed it, 2 weeks later in April, and we went out there and Sale looked real good. We won. We lost the first night we was up there, and we ended up doubling up and ended up winning the whole thing at the Nationals. And then we went up to the Superstakes a couple weeks later, and I don't know, I've never felt like this before in my life. He just kept he kept looking, unbelievable the whole time. He never really went back. Some dogs will go back on you and they'll start trying you and all. He just had coon hunting on his mind every night we went. And we went back up to Superstakes, and I felt pretty confident that we could win, and everybody expected us to win after we just won the national championship. So we went out there and we ended up getting in the final cast, and we won that too. He was just a smooth and easy. He made it easy on me.
Yeah, yeah, I'd say so. So, they say winning the nationals is probably one of the toughest hunt to win, but to win the national and super stakes in the same year, I mean, not only are you putting miles on you, your dog, your equipment, your vehicles and stuff. What did you do to kind of prepare yourself for just the mental aspect of that, to be out there and on the road that much and in the woods with the dog that much, making sure he was at the top of his game?
Well, we South Carolina is probably our best hunting from November to I'd say April, and I just we prepared all year, starting in January, and we started winning a little bit. We won the $20,000 there, and there was a bunch of hunts, in February and March, and I pulled them out of the hunts. I said, I'm not gonna hunt any of these hunts, and we did real well in the month of January here. I'm just gonna get them ready for the nationals and the super stakes, and going up to a big hunt like that, it's a commitment about 5 or 6 nights a week commitment that you got to make if you want to go there and compete. Like you said, it's probably one of the hardest things in the world to win is the national championship. You got dogs that's won $1,000 in that year, or in the top 12 of their state, or you got gold champions, platinum champions, world champions, super state champions. I don't know how many dogs I've hunted and look at the cast and it'd be over $200,000, of earnings in that cast, and sometimes more. So we beat the woods and caught a lot of breaks, and he was operating. We always go out there. It's tough on my family because I always leave about at least 3 or 4 days before the hunt starts, and got a couple places up in Illinois we'll hunt, and Indiana and Illinois we'll go and hunt, and try to get the dog acclimated, because it's rough on the dog too. Going 12 hours, it's a 12-hour trip, and you just got to have it in your mind, knowing that you're going out there for 8 or 10 days, and you're going away from your family, and you got to make the best of it, and you don't want to go unprepared. You got to be prepared once you show up, and that still don't mean you're going to win.
Yeah, for sure. And like you said, you're going up against some of the best dogs in the country, especially at the nationals. And I had Brett Denny on the podcast here a few weeks ago, and he kind of touched on what you touched on there about your family, and what does it mean to you to have a family behind you that supports you, that is helping you kind of pursue after your dream?
It means the world to me. It starts from everybody here at my house, and then it goes on to my mom and dad. Me and my dad own a Napa Auto Parts store together, and I sell real estate too. And he always supports me. He told me, you ready to go? You just go. I'll take care of things here. And the same for my wife with the kids. She stays here with the kids and takes care of things. And if you don't have a good support group, even all the way down to I got friends, Mr. Miles, that I talked about earlier, and John High and Ken, my partner. Without those guys also going with me in the woods, beating the bushes at night, and maybe just driving the truck just to pick me up, 2 miles from where we turn loose at or whatever. So we do a lot of walking while we're getting prepared, so you can listen and, get your mindset. And just to have somebody out there in the woods with you, it means a lot. It's even my coon hunting family. it means a lot to have the support from them.
Yeah, for sure. And I've never hunted on a stage like that. I can only imagine for me anyway, the nerves would be on edge there until that first dog made a bark and everybody kind of got struck in.
Oh yeah, it was at the nationals there. It was real. I was real nervous to start with. Uh, Everything kind of flowed after that. Um, had Steve Yan on the cast, and of course he's respect him. He's won it a couple times and been in a bunch of final casts, and he's probably won $300,000-$400,000 or more in his lifetime. And it going into that, knowing what I was up against, it had me nervous until we cut loose, And Shane Patton was our judge, and uh, you know it was a little intense to start with until we treated coon and then treat another one. Then I felt pretty good. I could relax a little bit. But
Won't you, if you can remember there, tell us what dogs were on that final cast there at the National, and kind of walk us through that final cast, and to the point of you knew you had it won.
okay, we had Miss B, and then we had Steve and Jock up and tripping, and we cut loose, and Steve struck for 100, and B was struck for 75, and I ended up getting struck for 50 after B treed, and Sel was about 30 yards left-handed to B, and he fell treed, and we were headed into B. Her tree time was up, and I wouldn't tree Sel because I knew he was split up on a little hill, and we started walking to B, and she packed up and left, and took 100 minus, so I automatically treed Sel. Went to him, he had a coon, so I had 150 plus. Jacques was way out the country and cut Sel loose, and he went in there and he got struck again, and I struck him for a quarter, and he went on in there and he fell treed, and we were walking to Jacques. Well, Jacques fell treed, and Steve treed him, and Sel treed right-handed from us, and I treed him while they were going to Jacques, and went and handled him, and Jacques had a coon, and we went to Sel, and Sel had a coon, and Jacques, he went back to the same tree, and then see, B got treed, and I guess we was leash locking. He treed Jock back there. Steve did because he went back to the same tree, and I could pull Sel the tree. He had a coon. I felt pretty good because we were down into low 20 minutes at that point, and pretty much had it locked up. I had two coons treed, and B ended up having a coon. I saw it in the den. It come out a hole, and plus that one up. And then now we headed to Jacques, and he's on the same tree. I didn't know for a fact that he was, but everybody, we was even looking on Facebook and all while we were sitting there waiting. They said they thought he was back on the same tree because they streamed it live, and sounded like he was in the same location anyway. We got in there, he's on the same tree, and the judge decided to call timeout with 7 minutes left. That made me a little bit nervous because that opened the strike back up. Then that way B could slip in there and beat me. But they had to tree a coon in 7 minutes to do it, and we cut loose on the back where we turned loose at, and there was a little field edge right there, and they ran down this field edge, and I ended up striking for 100, and Jacques struck 75, and B couldn't beat me unless I got minus. Anyway, she had to tree a coon, and I had to get minus, so I knew I had at least second place. Jacques was one that could beat me, and Sale went there and fell tree with about a minute left, and the other two didn't tree. I didn't tree him. We went in there and he had another coon. So until the last minute, I didn't know it was over with. I felt good with 20 minutes left, and it all changed when we got there and called timeout. So I didn't really get to feel good until the end, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I could imagine with that timeout being called with 7 minutes left to go in the cast, that could probably really get your heart pumping a little bit there.
Yes, sir. It had me going a little bit, especially with the lead, but it all worked out the way it was supposed to, I feel like. So it ended up being good, and we won, and it was a overwhelming time for sure.
Yeah, so, obviously you've been in quite a few PKC casts, and I want to talk about the Superstakes final cast here in a minute. But before we do, you see on social media a lot, a lot of these guys talking about being cheated and, competition hunting is corrupt. And, I took some lessons back in the day for $15, $20 at a time. But it wasn't that I got cheated. It was that I didn't know the rules to use them to my advantage the best that I could. Do you experience the same thing, or do you kind of feel the way they do, that there's a lot of cheating and corruption going on out there? Hey guys, this is Jason over at the Coonhound Collective podcast. Is your dog box starting to get wore? Maybe it's starting to get a little cracked like mine is. Maybe you've just been thinking about it's time to upgrade to a new box, but you've asked your buddies and you're just not real sure what direction to go in. Well, let me help you out here. Go check my friends out at CZ Welding and Fabrication, Custom Dog Boxes and Aluminum Products on Facebook. You can check out all their custom work they do there and their designs that they do. If you don't see something that you don't exactly like there, reach out to Nathan at 540-810-5439, 540-810-5439, or send him a message through the Facebook page. I bet he can fix you up. Don't wait till fall to get that new dog box. Go ahead, get that dog box now. Get you something looking good in the back of your truck that you can be proud of and that you can haul your dog around in comfort. Check my friends out at CZ Welding and Fabrication. You won't go wrong. Dog boxes built by hunters for hunters. Get yours today. CZ Welding and Fabrication. Hey guys, Jason at the Coonhound Collective podcast. Today I'm here to talk to you about a benefit hunt that's coming up. The State of Missouri Coon Hunters Association is holding the annual Shriners Children's Hospital benefit hunt on September the 24th, 2022. This is a UKC sanctioned event. There will be a bench show and a night hunt. There will also be a auction on the grounds at 1 o'clock. For more information on that, you can go to the Shriners Children's Hospital Benefit Stud Dog Auction and more on Facebook and check it out. You can scroll down through there. The winner of the bench show is going to get a CZ custom dog box. The winner of the night hunt is going to get the same custom dog box. There's a dog box up for auction right now over there, and a ton of stud dogs. Really nice dogs. Be a good opportunity to reserve a breeding for one of these dogs. Get your name in there. Stay on top of it. Make sure you win it so you can get a good breeding for that good female that you got out there. And there's a ton more other prizes. There's puppies being given away, some young dogs that are being auctioned, a lot of good things. Coon hunters are coming together for a great cause here. Help us make this hunt a large hunt here in Missouri. Help us raise some money to give to the Shriners Hospital. These guys are excited. They're really on fire here to try to make this hunt big. They're making a push here to make it. So help these guys out to really make this hunt a big hunt. You can reach out to Larry Bourbon if you don't have Facebook, and his phone number is 636-388-5420, 636-388-5420, or you can also reach out to Colton Ingram, and his phone number 636-249-3330, 249-3330. If you have something that you can auction off, get with these guys. They'll get it posted up on the page and get the auction running. Anything and everything. It doesn't have to be coon hunted related. Get it to them. Let's help these guys raise money for a great cause here. Coon hunters always come together to help other people. This is a great cause to help people. Let's help the State of Missouri Coon Hunter Association send a big check to the Shriners Hospital. Thanks.
Well, if they're getting cheated, it's their own fault because they don't know the rules. They've got avenues set up where you can question anything. You can have a panel. I mean, you know, you just got to be smart enough to know what's right and what's wrong. And if you're getting cheated, you let yourself get cheated. I've never personally, yeah, I've had a few lessons, like you said, you know, here and there. But personally, I'd say 90% of my casts are smooth, easy going. The best dog normally wins. If the handler doesn't make a mistake, of course. But you got to do your job. The dog's got to do his job, and everything's got to work out. These guys that sit there on Facebook and talk about how it's corrupt and it's cheating, and you know, PKC's doing this, and all these big money hunts is doing this and all that. You know, there's those guys are sitting there talking. They probably hadn't been in a hunt in forever or never been to one. And then there's an opportunity at any level at this game to go and play. If you want to play for $30 or you want to play for 50, it's just like gambling in a casino. You can play at the $5 table or you can go and play at the $1,000 table. You know, it's set up for everybody, you know, with these local hunts and all. You pay $30 and go hunt. You can pay $50 and go hunt. You can. I used to love to run the state race. To go into the world hunt and stuff like that. That was just like a privilege to go to it when I first got started, or Superstakes. But the state race was something I enjoyed. And to be able to go compete for the state hunt. So you can hunt in anything you want to, and be involved in a race and a championship of anything you want to, and not spend the money at the bigger hunts, even the $300 entry at the world hunt or the national championship or whatever. But if you nominate your dog for $75 or $100, you can go hunt at the world hunt. When you got to win $100 in open events, and you can go to the world hunt for $100 and hunt at the world hunt level and hunt with every dog in the country. So, you know, and compete for $30,000. I don't know where these guys get it from. Like I said, I've had non-hunting judges and cast a ton of them. I've had open event rules where we had one judge that was competing in the cast, and they do a pretty good job with judge selection at PKC. I had to give them that there's not a whole lot of issues, and Shane's been doing a real good job now that he's taken over, and you'll very, very rarely see questions coming back to the clubhouse, or have to have a panel hearing, because most of the guys, they're hunting a good dog, and you don't have to worry about all the BS.
Yeah, well, I couldn't agree more with what you said there. I mean, my experience has been, especially here as of late, hunting in some of these PKC casts, which most of mine are the $30 open events that I've been to. There's just not the arguing and fussing and carrying on that I see anyway. I mean, they may, hey, what about this? What about that? But it's usually worked out right there, and it is what it is. And then you either know the rule or you don't know the rules.
That's correct. There's people complain, I'm a nobody. These guys are hunted all their life and this and that, and they won all these hunts and all. I mean, I was just a guy from South Carolina that just started coon hunting in the last competition coon hunting in the last 6 years, and everybody's got opportunity. My dream was to win a world hunt or a national championship or even a Superstakes or any big hunt that was out of town, and I was able to accomplish it. And I tell guys all the time that, you got to go out there and work hard to do it, and it can be done. Anybody can win if they put their mind to it. And it's not, if it was so corrupt, I'd have never won a national championship or the Superstakes. I mean, it never would have happened. I never even got there. So all that Facebook talk, I mean, it's a joke, a lot of it.
Yeah. Well, and I had Lane Denny on the podcast here. I don't know, it's been probably close to a month ago, and he was touching on knowing the rules and stuff like that. But one thing that I do know from talking to Lane, not only on the podcast but just in regular conversation, and Brandon Gaines is another one. His podcast will be coming out this Thursday while we're at the time of us recording this one. Is those guys lay out there in the woods with those dogs. I mean, they don't just treat it as I'm coming home and yeah, maybe I feel like going coon hunting tonight because I want to go and I enjoy it. They're serious about going to these hunts and winning, and they're treating it almost like a job to go out there, get themselves prepared, and get that dog prepared so they can go and compete at that high level.
Yeah, yes, sir. And it is, I back 2 years ago, we went out to the fall Superstakes, and I had Sleazy that might have been 3 years now. It was 3 years ago. I had Sleazy, and she was a fall dog, and my partner Ken, he was partners with me and her too, and we only had one dog to hunt, but we all went out there, and I took all the other dogs that they had. I had about 6 or 7 dogs at the time, and I worked on them. I told Ken, I said, you hunt Sleazy in this hunt. I'm not even gonna hunt the Superstakes. I'm gonna go hunt some land we got. And I hunted all week up there and just pleasure hunted. Went to a big hunt, but I didn't. I wasn't involved in it. I just pleasure hunted all week up there and worked on dogs. I knew we were coming back in three weeks to the World Hunt, and I wanted to be ready. And we laid in the woods every night after that. It's rough on here in South Carolina. Get ready for World because we alligators and snakes, and it's hot, of course. This time of the year, and we trying to get ready and trying to keep our dogs in shape. And I laid out all summer hunting Sleazy and Amtrak and JoJo, and a friend of mine I got partners with, Buddy, another dog, and went up there to the World Hunting. We ended up doubling up three in a row, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Hunted each dog each night, and done real well. And that right there proved to me that it takes a lot of time to get these dogs ready, stay in the woods, and it's not no 2 nights a week, or I go and I'm gonna hunt a couple hours and go home. You lose time with your family because you're tired. You just got to suck it up and go out there and hunt hard, get ready. Because some of these guys that are hunting every day, they do hunt like it's their job, or it is their job, and you're competing against that. They don't have to get up and go to work the next day, so they can hunt 10 or 12 hours a night. So if you're not keeping up with what they're doing and training, then it's just like any other sport. You're gonna fall behind, and you're not gonna make it.
Yeah, and that's kind of what Lane touched on was, you have, basically baseball camps and basketball camps and football camps, and those kids or young adults are preparing themselves for the next level, and that's what we have to strive for, with our hounds as well.
And
So
that's correct.
let's talk about now. You've won the national championship, and now we're going to go to the Super Stakes. Talk about that last cast there. Who was on that cast and kind of what that was like.
We had Wicked Ambush dog, and I can't remember the other dog we had for some reason, but we went out, and I never felt more confident in my life about a hunt. I don't know why. I told Mr. Miles and a couple of the guys before I left, I said, we're going to go win this thing. And it was just, it was almost overwhelming, the feeling that I had. I didn't think I could be beat, which is crazy, the craziest thing in the world, because you can get beat any night competition hunting with a coon dog. And we went out there and we cut loose, and um, it was windy. Golly, it was so windy. It was blowing 30 mile an hour. Probably could barely hear the dogs. And I got self-struck for 100 probably after 10 minutes in the hunt. And he got over and he trailed and trailed and trailed. And another guy ended up getting a stationary put on him. I can't remember that dog's name for some reason, but we went over there and he had to tree it and ended up just treeing on some water, around some water, and he took 100 minus, and Cell fell treed, and I treed him, and we walked to him. It's probably, 90-minute cast. It was probably 50 minutes gone or so when we was getting to him, and he had a coon for 200, and we recut him, and I struck back in for a quarter, and we sat around there for a while. I don't know, it was probably 25 minutes left. We started easing back towards the other dogs and ended up here in ambush, and he got treed, and we went to him. He had a coon for 150, and we recut him with like 12, 15 minutes left, and Sal was trailing around, and hunt was over with. We won with one coon, which is very rare, but ended up getting treed again at the end of the hunt. But we had 200, and ambush got second with 150. The other dog had 100 minus. But it was a real smooth cast. Matter of fact, Brett Denny was the judge. Talking about Brett, he's judged me multiple times, and a good guy and a good judge, fair judge. He asked me if we could walk towards ambush, even though we wasn't hearing him. And I probably shouldn't have, but the right thing to do, sportsmanlike, it was to walk towards him to give him opportunity to get treed, because he was in the hunt too. And they asked if I mind splitting the difference, even though my dog, was here struck in and we could hear him. So we ended up walking in so we could hear him. And like I said, he got treed, and it worked out the way it was supposed to. We ended up winning, and did the right thing and let the guy get treed in. And I think Brad appreciated it too, because it kind of took some pressure off him, because the other handler was ready to try to get his dog treed in. But Brad handled the cast exactly how I would have. And talking about, you had him on the podcast. He's a good guy and a good judge. And somebody says he cheated you, there's something wrong.
Yeah, well, he's actually from down around my old stomping grounds. I'm actually from Southeast Alabama, and just talking to him a few times on the phone, he seems like a really good guy, and I really enjoyed having him on the podcast for sure. So you win the Superstakes with Sale. Now you won the national championship and then the Superstakes all in the same year. What's what's the future looking like now? And I'm assuming you're still hunting Sale. And are you offered him up for stud at all, or are you just hunting him still, or what's going on there?
We're doing a little bit of both. We left the Superstakes there, and decided we was going to go back to Indiana, Illinois a little bit that summer, and there's no hunts really around South Carolina with all the alligators and everything. We have a few $30, $50 hunts, stuff like that here, but you're always taking a chance cutting one loose here in the summer. So we went back up north and hunted in Ohio and Indiana, Illinois, some pro classics, and went to Greencastle and went to Melton, Indiana, and Mount Orab, Ohio. We won a couple casts at each place we went to, and picked up some more money there, and then we ended up winning a little bit through through the fall and the first of the year there, and around February we broke the $100,000 mark. They had three $1,000 pro classics here in South Carolina and in Ridgeland, and we won. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 casts in a row. We split the first night, and that broke the 100,000 mark. That was something I wanted to accomplish with them after we won the Superstakes and Nationals, and we was hoping we could get there. That was just a goal, and we got there, and then we won. Next night we hunted it off, and we won it. We won early and late, and then the next night we hunted it off again, and we won early and got second late. Anyway, we still gonna continue to hunt them. Me and Ken's plans are to hunt them some, and we gonna have them studded out. Also, if somebody wants to breed to them, they welcome to breed to them. We've got some pups on the ground doing real well. They're about 9 months old out of a female JoJo that we had for a while, and she got the top of 6 Superstakes. She probably won about $16,000-$17,000 in PKC. But anyway, her pups had 5 pups, and they're doing real well. I know 3 of them's Korean coons for sure, and we had another pup off another litter. Only ended up having 1. We were trying some side-by-side breeding or whatever, where they collect sperm and put it in the female, and that didn't work out too well for us. So we live bred some females out of Superstakes, and we had 9 pups last week. A dog Isaac Bond has in Kentucky, and we're looking forward to them. And we just bred the white trash Hillary dog Waylon Morrell's got out of New York. They came down from New York, and we bred them. And he sent me a picture yesterday. She looks pretty pregnant. We looking forward to those pups. She's been a good reproducer about everything Waylon's bred to her. Has really turned out real well, and they got some nice females. They're hunting now, and we looking forward to that litter. And we bred them. Stephen Smith and Ryan Eady Cochran, they bred a female probably 2 or 3 weeks, probably 3 or 4 weeks ago now. I guess time flies by, and hopefully we'll have some good ones out of that litter. And we're gonna breed them a little bit and through the summer, and just start back hunting again. We probably won't go to any huts till the World Hunt. And we'll start back then and hunt through the fall and in the winter.
Yeah, well, that'd be something to be able to take him out to the World and win it. The national super stakes in the world. That would be quite an accomplishment for sure.
Yes, sir. We'd like to do it. He got in the top 25 this year at the World, and this past year 2021. That after the Superstakes and the national championship win, we ended up getting beat by Goose. That ended up winning the whole thing. The Goose was loose in Salem, and he looked really good and beat us and ended up winning it all. I was glad for him and Joe and their team. Great guys, and we wanted to be in the final cast. That was the goal. I didn't know if we could win it, but we wanted to try to be in the final cast of the World Hunt. That's probably the next goal that we'd have. I would think, try to make it to that.
Yeah. So how old is Sale now?
Sale is 3. He'll be 4 in September.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, 3 or 4.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So other than Sale, do you got something on the back burner there you ain't told nobody about yet that you're working on, or is it just Sale you're focused on right now?
Well, I'm kind of down to the 2 that we focused on. Me and Miles Jernigan. I briefly talked about earlier. We got a birdie in the big country female. Her name's Riggs, and she is a 1-year-old. Took her to Superstakes this year. She won an early round. Miles was hunting her, and he won an early round with her. I hunted her late and ended up losing, but she came in heat the next day. She started swelling, and we wasn't expecting her to come in heat. We think we'd have done a whole lot better at the Superstakes this year as a 1-year-old spring Superstakes, but she's one I'm gonna concentrate on this year. Her and Sale, they're the main objective. But if I had one that I'd say that's up and coming, she's gonna be the one. She's very accurate, and she don't care about what another dog's doing, and she's gonna get in there and get treated with a coon somewhere.
Yeah, just to touch on something, I think it's, people get so breed minded, a certain breed, certain way, and granted, I understand a lot of it is, this worked for me, why change it up type thing. But I find it interesting that you've mostly predominantly hunted Walker dogs, and then you have that little female there that you're really pushing it. Was there something behind that? Just wanting a big country pup, or was there something else that you seen there?
Uh, I really the way it turned out, you know, John Ashley, we called him about breeding Birdie. Mr. Miles, he talked to me about wanting to maybe breed her, and we pondered what to breed her to, and Country, he was throwing some good pups, and Babe was turning on about that time, and always got along real well with Ashley and John, and I said, I'll reach out to them and see if they'd be interested in breeding to her, and they were. They said, yeah, we'll breed her, and I said we don't have a crossbreed, or we don't have a blue tick English. I said, let's just try to cross and see what it's like. Country's producing, and we knew Birdie was a real nice female too, and so let's see what we can do. And we had some pups. We had 9 pups, and a bunch of them Korean coons, and she was the only female. It was 8 males and one female, and we kept her. And Miles has done an outstanding job with her. I hunt with her some, and he started her and got her going, and we worked on a couple things here and there. And I don't know. It's not that I'm not breed minded or anything. It doesn't matter to me. I know some guys are. I'll hunt a Chihuahua if it's okay. If you can register as a crossbreed and it's Korean coons, I know what wins hunts, and having a coon's what wins. All the other mumbo jumbo stuff don't win a hunt. But if you got a coon, when you get there, you're going to win majority of your hunts. And I don't care what kind of breed they are, really.
Yeah, I had a conversation earlier today. I got a guy posted on Facebook, and he was looking for a English dog that had some Walker dog in their background. And I have a female here at the house she's registered through UKC as a red tick English and PKC, but on her bottom side it is loaded with Walker dogs, Night Heat Abbey, Bad Habit, Stylish Hickory Nut Harry, and I have a pup here that I'm gonna move because I just got too many young dogs. And he called me. He's just a pleasure hunter, and that's one of the things he brought up to me was he likes the crossbreeding dogs. He says he breeds for what he's looking for in a dog between dogs, and it don't matter to him what breed they are. But when he breeds dogs, that's what he's breeding for, is what he likes. And he said he likes to crossbreed line of dogs because he feels like their immune system is a little bit stronger and don't have quite as many issues as some other dogs. Whether that's true or not, that's hearsay. But I just kind of found that interesting that you mostly hunted Walker dogs, and y'all have that dog there together.
Yeah, and like I said, it doesn't matter to me. She's a coon treer, and that's what I like. And um, I've always hunted Walker dogs. I like the Walker breed for sure. It's been very good to me. Um, but like I said, it doesn't matter. Um, any dog that pleases you, it might not please the next man. So some people probably wouldn't like to hunt Sale, but he pleases me, and me and him, we gel together, we fit together. My partner Bruce, he they didn't really get along too good together. I guess they didn't operate together. It's just my ex-partner anyway. It's just whatever whatever dog that fits you, I'd say hunt it, because if you breeding for what fits you, you got, that's what you got to go with, and you'll do a whole lot better as long as the dog pleases you. If the dog don't please you, you're probably not gonna want to hunt as much as you need to and do the things, and you're not going to do well in hunts because it's just things are not going to line up for you.
Yeah, and I just interviewed Mr. Junior last year. I had that episode come out a couple weeks ago, and that's one of the things he said. He said it don't matter what breed it is. He said just get something that you like, and you can crossbreed register it or whatever. If you want to hunt and hunt or pleasure hunt or whatever, just get what you like and hunt it. That's all that
That's it.
matters. And I thought that was pretty interesting. Before I get, I've had you almost an hour. I mean, it's hard to believe we've already been on here almost an hour, but I've had you almost an hour. Before I get to the last question here, tell us a little bit about how Cell operates, like high end strike dog, low end strike dog, kind of what his mouth is, and kind of a verbal description of him here.
He's a very high end strike dog. We get struck for 100 a lot. He's got a dinosaur nose. He's one of the best noses on a dog that I've ever hunted with. He can smell coon tracks and that other dogs don't. I feel like he gets in there and gets struck, and he's a trailing machine. If they're down, he can tree them, pop them up just as fast as any of them, and if they're not down, he can trail one up that you say, oh, ain't no way he's gonna finish that track, but he trails it and finishes it, and has a coon at the end of it. He doesn't tree a lot of den trees. Most of the time it's a coon. He's very accurate. Like I said, he's got one of the best noses. His mouth, he's well above average mouth. He's got a real good mouth. He got a good locate, and he makes it pretty easy on me. He's pretty independent. Out the truck he might be with a dog, but other than that, he's on a one track to go tree a coon somewhere, and he gets over there by himself and makes it easy to call. Just strike him and tree him.
Yeah, well, that definitely helps when they make it easy on you and they get in there and do their job.
That's right.
All right, last question here. I know I've had you about an hour, but tell us a funny or serious coon hunting story that you have.
Well, I'd say the funniest story I have coon hunting. We were at the World Hunt. A bunch of us staying in the house together. I had Mr. Billy Allen and Mr. Miles and Ken Strickland, and we were all there at the World Hunt. And I hunted Sleazy Doe the first night, and we got her in doubled up. And I thought that was the first time I ever doubled up at the World Hunt. And I thought that was kind of the best thing in the world, Here I have doubled up the World Hunt. It's hard to do. It's not easy. There's a lot of dogs there and a lot of good dogs. We doubled up, and I had on my phone the song "We Are the Champions," and I came in at, I don't know, right at daylight playing that song and woke everybody up in the house. And I'm 41 years old, so I was probably about 30, 38, 39 at the time. And these other men, they're in their 60s, and Ken's in it, he's 50, and I'm waking them up, going room to room, and that I won, and it was a pretty funny joke for him the first night. And the second night I got Buddy in, I hunted him, and I came in at daylight and did the same thing, and it was pretty funny. And by the third night I got Amtrak in. When I came in, they didn't think it was so funny anymore. Because I was waking them up. They were happy for me, but I was waking them up every night at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, and it was very little sleep that week. But it was a funny time and a great time to share with friends, and times I won't never forget. I just remember waking those guys up, and we were laughing. You think most people sleeping at 4 or 5 in the morning, and us coon hunters, we're up laughing, and they telling me to tell them, what happened, and can't believe you got a dog, got a dog in. It was some good funny moments.
Yeah, and That's one of the things that, as doing these podcasts and talking to different people from different parts of the country, one of the common things that I always hear is coon hunters coming together, having a good time, coon hunters coming together, helping one another, or even helping in their communities. And I think that gets overlooked in our sport a lot. And I think that's an important aspect of our sport, of the camaraderie that is built between hunters, whether you're competitors or not. You can be fierce competitors when that stopwatch gets set to go, and when it's all over with, you're still there to shake their hand or help them out if they need a hand.
Oh yeah, and I mean, a lot of people don't see that. I've got, it's overwhelming, the congratulations you get, um, you know, after you do win a big hunt, just showing that everybody's not jealous. I mean, I probably got 300 or 400 text messages and 500 comments on Facebook and different things after, we won. And, um, it's unbelievable the, the amount of the camaraderie, like you said, with these hunters. And, you know, um, you know, people like me and Steve went up against each other, and we talk, text each other, talk on the phone. And, every time I see him, it's, you know, shake each other's hand. And you meet a lot of lifelong friends that you could call any day, um, and they would be there for you and do whatever. And it helps the community, gets the youth involved. And they about to put on the national championship. And those guys called and asked if, I told them I couldn't come if I'd help. We donated a light here from South Carolina for them. And um, it's an outreach. It goes way on past what people just think we're out in the woods all night at all hours of the night, and and doing things. But it stretches. You meet people, lifetime friends, out there hunting. You get closer with people. I mean, me and Mr. Miles grew up together and around each other. And he's 66, 67 years old, and he'd always come by our Napa store and ask me how the hunting was going and all. And we ended up partners in on a dog. And he texted me just a little while ago. We talk on the phone about every day and built a relationship. And we 20 years apart in age, but we respect each other. And coon hunting brought us together. He's a good friend of mine now.
Yeah, and I interviewed Chuck Kenson. It's been several months back, but he he said one of the things he said was he was looking for a coon dog and he found a brother with his buddy Brett Stevens, in which we've all three become pretty good friends now. Um, and that, that's what it's about. We can get out there and we draw out on the same cast. We can be competitors, but when that buzzer goes off and that 1 hour or 90 minutes or 2 hours is up, in the end, we can walk away buddies and shake each other's hand and congratulate one another or whoever won the cast, and be there for one another. And that's really what it's about. And I think it's important to show that sportsmanship, especially when there are younger men on that cast there, because they don't want to see a bunch of grown-ups out there arguing and fussing, over stuff. You handle it like adults, handle it like sportsmen, and move on with it.
Yes, it's just like anything else. I mean, you're gonna win some and you're gonna lose some. The same football team don't normally win a national championship in football. And they got to shake hands after every game on the football field. Probably one of the best things in the sport that they do. They show sportsmanship and they shake each other's hand, win, lose, or draw. Same team don't win the Super Bowl every year. I mean, whatever level you at, whatever sport you at, the cycle goes on. You're not going to always be in the winner circle. So you might as well just go and have a good time and shake hands and meet friends and learn life lessons out there. I mean, that's what it's all about. You meet people that you'll know 20 years from now, 30 years from now, different ages. And then you have the youth get involved. You learn that you have another edge there that you can get a young man involved that might not have been doing the right things or whatever, or needed a father figure in his life. So it's coon hunting it's a great sport. And they might don't always get all the credit it deserves, but I think the Lord every day that we have organizations like Pro Sport and PKC and UKC that they allow us to go and compete. And then, like you said, at the end of the day, you can shake hands and be friends and tell stories and laugh.
Yeah, that's what it's about. But football, I'm tired of seeing Nick Saban shaking hands out there. I will say that.
Yeah.
My,
Just,
my wife don't listen to this, but she's a Alabama fan and I'm an Auburn fan, so you can only imagine how that goes.
Oh yeah, yeah. Of course we have Clemson here, and I've always been a Clemson fan. I played college football at Newberry College, and my dad was a Carolina fan, and my uncle was a Clemson fan. We had a family business, so I was with my uncle on Saturday, so I watched Clemson. I ended up becoming a Clemson fan, and I can relate to you with the Alabama and Clemson because my wife's from Alabama, and she's an Alabama fan, and of course I'm a Clemson fan, and it don't go very well when we get beat by them.
Yeah, well, I understand. That's football. College football in the South is serious business for sure. I mean, it can get serious and get heated real quick.
Yes, sir. It can.
Well, we've been at it just over an hour, and before I let you go and give you opportunity to thank anybody that's helped you get to where you're at winning like you are, and any sponsors that you might want to thank while I got you on here publicly.
Okay, I like to thank my partner Kim Strickland, and he's done a lot for me. We've offshore fished together and competed, and we've had these dogs since I pretty much got started. Him and Jack Funderburk, thank both of them. They kind of got me going in the competition part of it, and I got my partner that hunts with me about every night, John High. I have to thank him. He's always there for me, whether we go into the world hunting, he's picking me up or picking me up out the woods or walking with me in the woods or whatever. And Johnny Altman, he's been a lot of help to me, and he's helped me with the breeding aspect, especially with sale. I want to thank him. Mr. Miles, of course, partner, good friend. My family, mom and dad, wife and kids for putting up with me for all the crazy coon hunting the nights that we stay out and tired the next day and have a birthday party or something. They look at me and I'm dragging, but they still love me no matter what. They support me. I'd like to thank you said some sponsors, Joy Dog Food. They've always been good to us. We've had the best milk out of any female we have when we put her on that puppy food from Joy. They've helped us out a lot. And talked to Wade about the Joy food, and he's enlightened us on a lot of things. And Havoc Hunt Supplies, Nighttime Hunt Supplies, and Johnny Dalton and them guys always getting us all our supplies we need, especially at the hunts. They've always looked out for us, and that's about it, I believe.
All right, man. Well, that's awesome. I really appreciate you taking your time to be on the Coonhound Collective podcast today. We're just over about an hour and 7 or 8 minutes here, and I don't want to take up any more of your time. I really appreciate you taking time and telling us about your kind of walk through there with some of your dogs and sale especially. And man, what an accomplishment to win the Nationals and the Superstakes and in the same year with the same dog. I mean, that's just unreal. But Shaun, I really appreciate you being here on the Coonhound Collective, and I am not going to say we're going to hit the woods today because it's about 100 degrees, so I'm not hitting the woods tonight. But till next week, we'll see you then. Thanks, guys, for listening to the Coonhound Collective podcast today. We really appreciate you taking your time out of your day to listen to the podcast. If you don't mind, head over to Facebook and give us a like, and head over to Instagram and give us a follow. It's both at the Coonhound Collective. Also, if you would like to reach us here at the Coonhound Collective, you can reach us at thecoonhoundcollective@gmail.com. If there's someone that you would like to hear on the podcast or a product that you would like to hear talked about, please send it to thecoonhoundcollective@gmail.com. Thanks again. Have a great day.